Hello everybody on the internet watching, and welcome to the final game of week 4 of the Totally Normal Football League. Yes, we're still on Ontario, and yes, winter still won't friggin' die around here. So we have a little bit of a snowy game in the garbage can as the Toronto Trash Pandas welcome to town the Seattle Stoats. And the Stoats are gonna hope to maintain their second place position in the over there division. And the Toronto Trash Pandas, with a win tonight, will put them neck and neck with the Kingston Gators to get their playoff spot, which will be an ever-present concern, even though we're in week 4 of week 10 in this league. Tim Bencher immediately kicks a touchback, and it'll be Stoats' ball as Toronto won the opening coin flip. And so it'll be Marquise Schertzer, not Billy Brumbus, taking the snaps in today's game for the Stoats. And he'll immediately play action, looking for someone down the middle of the field. And that was nearly caught by Terry Shutcrunch as the ball was behind its window. Perhaps a bit too much underneath that one. A little bit too much in the juice department. Terry Shutcrunch, I'm surprised he didn't get the free interception there. Having a great start here for this Toronto audience. And Schertzer in the shotgun. Schertzer throwing a deep oh my god, in at the 20, at the 10. It's Frank Mellenballer, and nobody was near him. I was saying in the pre-show like an hour ago that Randy Straycash versus Frank Mellenballer is going to be a bloodbath for Mellenballer the moment he gets in man coverage. And as we see there, my sports insidership coming to fruition, and immediately the Stoats putting up 7 on the board on the second play of the game. And that was an 80-yard touchdown pass. Just when you thought you had to worry about the Stoats running game being so good with Giovanni Falblay and Clint Hardball being your running back tandem, you forget that there's Bram Van Spakelis and Frank Mellenballer to catch passes, regardless on who's taking the snaps and throwing the balls there as quarterback for the Stoats. And it is my opinion that the Stoats are currently the best all-around team in the TNFL, even though the Janitors are currently sitting 4-0, the only undefeated team. I think the Stoats are the scarier team of the over-there division. And it is why the San Francisco Shippers, who just won their contest against division rivals the Beefers not just 10 minutes ago. Is it Chip Cord Ripper returns it to the 35. The Shippers are going to be looking on this game and hoping that the Toronto Trash Pandas can defeat the Stoats and make the second place race in the over there a much more competitive one. But as we see here, the Stoats will be a handful for these Raccoons. Jim Rat in. He's going to go up the middle. He's going to get 6 yards. Doug Gongshow, the franchise quarterback for the Trash Pandas. He's been reliable, but he hasn't been outstanding the past couple of games. Grower and Jim Rat in with 2 tight ends. A very big, beefy formation here for the 2nd and 6 try. Jim Rat off tackle, picks up a great pancake, shakes a tackle. He'll get it over the 50, almost to the Stoats 45. And this is how Jim Rat is the 3rd best running back in terms of total yards in the league right now. His ability to just crash and burn right down the middle of the field. You saw him break a tackle, bowl someone over. And that is the Jim Rat way, folks, as Brett Smarts is now brought in to replace him after that hard tackle. As he trips over for 2 yards to the 45. Second and 8. Gongshow, empty set, back to throw, throws it over the middle. It's complete to Sai Mayo. First down, the Trash Pandas at the 31 of the Stoats, and they are motoring. And even though they don't have the shock and awe of the Stoats on their opening possession, they're nonetheless moving the ball down the field well. They just need to avoid Doug Gongshow interceptions. That's all up to the AI. Brett Smart's up the B gap. He'll get a great 8-yard run inside the 25. And Ben Zeitgeist appears to have injured his head on the play. Ben Zeitgeist, the third-year Stoat, who has found a place on the team as a strong safety. He was a wonderful strong safety in Season 2. He's injured his head. He's being checked for a concussion. That's a big loss for the Stoats, even for a handful of snaps. So it'll be Ray Trooper in to replace him. Gongshow looking for the one-on-one and tackled out of bounds. Throwing it to Kyle Katam, but he was shadowed by the secondary of the Stoats. Ben Zeitgeist is out with a concussion, and he will miss at least this game and perhaps the next game as well. Jim Ratt shakes a tackle. He's to the 15. First down, Trash Pandas. That is not good. Ben Zeitgeist with a confirmed concussion. And I wonder if that's going to tempt the Trash Pandas to throw it deep right field and get some yardage for some chip cord ripper action. First down for the Trash Pandas. It's a pass play for Gongshow. Stoats only send 4. Wide open is Andy Codd, player at the 6. Great comeback route. The Stoats have really been putting the fear of God with their man coverage in a lot of the AI quarterbacks. Eagerly snatching up passes, and this is great play from Gongshow and his wide receivers to play around that as they find themselves at the 5-yard line, second and inches. Hand off to Jim Ratt. Gets the first down to the 3. As DeMar Hod is complaining about some holding that the referees are not calling, apparently. He does that at least once a game, folks. You get used to him. First and goal for the Trash Pandas at the 2. Brett Smarts, play action. Gongshow, just run to the end zone. What are you doing? But it doesn't matter because Eon Corngrower on the fullback flat route gets the catch, and Doug Gongshow gets a passing touchdown to put 6 on the board for the home team. Like, there was no one in front of Gongshow, man. He could have ran in for a touchdown. But there is nothing more Trash Pandas in the world than a play action at the 2-yard line. And, you know, if it works, you gotta let them keep doing it, even if it might be harmful behavior. 2-yard touchdown pass for Gongshow. Tim Bencher looking for an easy chip shot extra point. He gets it. Tie game here in Toronto. Marquis Schertzer has played 2 downs today. One of them was an incomplete. The other was a 80-yarder to Frank Mellenballer for a touchdown. That sure is a sample size. Stoats have yet to involve Girani Foul Play or Clinton Hardball. We'll see what they do on their second possession. And, man, there is no one in the league better at just invalidating an entire pillar of football, such as special teams, than Tim Bencher. I don't think I've ever seen him kick a not touchback on kickoffs. That's what 99 kick power will give you, folks. First and 10 for the Stoats as they pick up pace at the 20. 2 minutes 55 left in the first half. Marquis Schertzer in. He'll throw it. Throws it to the outside. He'll get it to Frank Mellenballer for a first down near the 435. So, Schertzer to Mellenballer. I ship it. First down for the Stoats at the 33, and he gets a big whiff of Dion Sizzler on the pass rush for his first sack of the day, and that pushes Schertzer back. A 6-yard sack. Scherzer back to throw. Getting it to the outside. Tipped away. Randy Straightcash defending a wide open Frank Mellenballer again. If that tip-off was even slightly off, that one would have gone for a touchdown. Playing fast and loose there on the zone coverage. 3rd and 16. Still, the Stoats at the 27. Scherzer once again back. The Trash Pandas only send 3 as Stanley Steak Sauce pulverizes Bram Van Spakelos behind the sticks to bring up a 4th down. Okay, that was another power fluctuation. So, if I do have a power outage, I will lose the game, which will be... Got this punt going on here. And oh my god, there's no one! Chip Cord Ripper to the 40! The kicker is going to stop him. That's a crazy return from Chip Cord Ripper. Am I able to save the game? I am. Okay. I might save that game periodically just to load it in case we do have a power outage. I'm not going to break the pace every single play, but we're planning ahead here. Doug Gongshow back to throw. Throws to the flat to an unawares Bill Bonk. Just bounced right off his back. Dare I say it, bounced off his back. Get it? Because his name is Bill Bonk. Anyways, Jim Rat in with King Corngrower in the I formation, but Gong Show is still insistent on passing it. And he'll get it to Andy Codplayer for a singular yard. I feel like it was 9 years too late for the throw there. Andy Codplayer just streaking on an in route. Sort of wide open, and Gong Show didn't get it to him. 3rd and 10. Gong Show in the shotgun. Venture will throw it. He'll get it to Codplayer at the 10 for a 1st down. Now, you'd think with how tall Dennis Creamy is that it would be a lopsided matchup for the Stoats cornerback on 3rd-year Trash Pandas veteran Andy Codplayer, but he's so nimble, so speedy that his low height doesn't really matter too much as we end the 1st quarter. Both teams tied up, but with the Trash Pandas acquiring a fresh set of downs inside of the Stoats red zone, they're looking to tack on another touchdown to their tied up 7-all game right. Gong Show, simple step back, throw to the flat. They get it open, but Chip Cord Ripper isn't able to keep both feet in bounds, and that's going to be called an incomplete. Gong Show 5 for 8 today. Good work there. 2nd and 10. We're at the Stoats 11-yard line. Outside pitch to Jim Rat. Picks up a good block, but is only able to turn upfield for 2 yards to about the Stoats 9. That'll bring up a 3rd down. Stoats putting up a good fight with red zone defense, but Gong Show's going to stand in the shotgun in the red zone. Again, the most Trash Pandas football you can imagine is happening right now. Throws it over the middle, almost got it to tight end, meet 4-man, but just ever so slightly off target, and the pass is no good. Tim Bencher with the not extra point. It is a regular field goal. The Trash Pandas put 3 on the board. And they'll go ahead as such as the Stoats stop them. And now it'll be Marquis Scherzer back on the field after a kick return. I forget who returns the kicks for the Stoats. That's Craig Quaffit is the kick punt returner who picks up some great blocks, but he'll get jammed up at the 30. And Marcus Gameloud, the second injury for the Stoats this game, has injured his chest on the special teams play. Where the hell is Marcus Gameloud on the freaking depth chart? Anyways, hand off to Girani, foul play. He'll run it all the way to the 35. Okay, bruised ribs out for 2 quarters. So we'll see him back in middle of the way through the 4th. So just beat up, but still able to play. Third down for the Stoats, 2 yards away, make it 1.5. Schertzer stepping back. The Trash Pandas only send 3, and Schertzer is going to throw it. He could have stepped forward for the first down, but getting greedy. Michael Hotz tips away the pass. He could have just stepped forward slightly. But that is what happens when you put your faith in an AI coded in 2004 and not updated for 5 years. Gabriel DeSavior out to punt. Kicks it out of bounds. Good punt from DeSavior is going to put the Trash Pandas at the 16. The Trash Pandas hold on to a 3-point lead here in the second, up 10-7. Jim Ratt and Ewan Korngrower behind Doug Gongshow. And, oh my god, encroachment from Virgie Hamilton, the rare Virgie Hamilton L, is going to move the Trash Pandas forward 5 yards. Jim Ratt, draw play, but can't quite turn up field. That'll be a half-a-yard loss. I think the Stoats have only ran the ball once. So Jim Ratt, I think, has gained ground on Girani foul play for the overall rushing title. Those two running backs are fighting over second place, with Jim Ratt in third, foul play in second. And Ace Ducey way ahead to both of them. Gong Show back to throw. Stoats only send 3. It's a screenless screen, and Jim Ratt's going to lose another yard on the play. That'll bring up a 3rd and 7. The Trash Pandas have lost 3 yards since picking up 5 from a penalty on the first down. Gong Show throwing it to the flat. Tries to get it to Ewan Korngrower, but can't quite get his hands on it. Edward Gogo out to punt. So Edward Gogo was only able to kick it to the Trash Pandas' 49, so the Stoats are going to start this in enemy territory. Marquis Schertzer back to throw, throwing it to Brad Van Spakelos, who bobbles it at the 10-yard line, protected by Stanley, or that's not Stanley, that is Terry Shutcrunch. Second and 10. Schertzer once again in the shotgun. The Stoats are just in maximum pass mode today. And Schertzer held onto the ball and just decided to, on the quarterback keep. But the Trash Pandas were all over that with Steak Sauce Ayala just flattening them. 3rd and 13 for the Stoats. Schertzer sends it deep to Bram, but Bram decides to turn around and say screw it because he can't get out of the protection of Defensive Player of the Season, Michael Hotz. That's going to bring up a Stoats punt. Great backspin on that, but it still landed in the end zone for a touchback. The Gong Show and the Trash Pandas starting at the 20-yard line. Jim Ratt continues his streak of losing yards. He gets tackled for a loss. This time it's by Leonard Kapowski, the former Beavers linebacker. Two-yard loss on the tackle. Gong Show up and over. It's Bill Bonk who gets the ball jarred out of his hands. Stoats pick up the loose ball. It was picked up by Damar Hott, but Toronto challenges the fumble. They will use one of their 2 red flags on this one. So Bill Bonk picks up the neat little shovel pass. And that is relief safety Antoine Tooney, of all goddamn people, getting the forced fumble on this. That is really funny if you know anything about TNFL lore. I'm unemployed and I probably make more per year than Antoine Tooney does. So we'll see where the referees go on this one. And the play stands. The Stoats get the ball at the Trash Pandas' 32. What a disaster. And what a big sack! Crowd goes crazy for Dion Sizzler's 2nd of the game. That's going to send the Stoats like, what, 7 yards back? Just on the blind side. He just doesn't even see Sizzler just roll up. That's a 7-yard sack. That's crazy. That put them out of field goal range. Throw out of the sack is tipped away by Terry Shutcrunch. That'll bring up 3rd down. The Stoats have yet to convert on a 3rd down once, and this being a 3rd and forever. It's not looking good on this one, but Frank Mellenballer exists. Much to the chagrin of everyone else in the league. Schertzer back to throw, in trouble, throws out of a sack, tipped away by Steak Sauce. That's 4th down. This pass rush of the Trash Pandas, I said they have to get through the great blocking of the Stoats, and they are surprising me. What's even more, the Trash Pandas are only really sending 3, pass rushers every time. It is just, Dion Sizzler, Darren Daggerstab getting through. Sometimes it's Mo Wacko getting the pressure and forcing Schertzer to throw it early as the ball is punted for a touchback. That could have been a field goal, but amazing plays from the defensive line of the Trash Pandas move them out of field goal range, move the Stoats out of field goal range, I should be specific here. And now the Trash Pandas maintain their 3-point lead. 2 minutes 30 seconds left in the half. Gong Show back to throw. He'll throw it over. He'll immediately throw an interception. Picked up at the 28 by Damar Hott, who dropped back into coverage, and Gong Show is so pissed at himself, man. Oh, man. It'll be Marquise Schertzer, who's been pass all game long. Throws it over, and that's back-to-back-to-backs, baby. Stanley Steak Sauce gets his 2nd interception, or gets his 1st interception, the 2nd for the Trash Pandas. Play action, but this did not work. The Stoats all over him, but I think this one got tuck ruled. The chat doesn't know what to do with all these stupid interceptions, dude. Bill Bonk in motion. Jim Rat up the right side of the field. He's got Greengrass in front of him, but chasing him down is Dennis Creamy. Great run there from Rat as we hit the 2-minute warning. Trash Pandas with a fresh set of downs at their own 40-yard line. Gong Show stands in the shotgun beside Jim Rat. A minute 57 on the clock. Stoats send 4. Rat out of the pocket. Catches Andy Codplayer at the 50 on the comeback. Gong Show once again in the shotgun, throwing it up for Chip Cordripper, but it's overthrown, and it's grabbed by Ryan Coulier, who returns it to the Stoats 40. That's the 4th interception of the game from both teams, the 2nd for Gong Show. Back to back to back to back, baby. Welcome to the TNFL. The Stoats still with a 3-point deficit. Schertzer throwing it up, gets it to number 19 to the 25 of the Trash Pandas. That's Brandon Waves, the rookie. Schertzer once again steps back, passes it to the corner. Tries to get it to Girani, foul play, but it's tipped away by Randy Straight Cash, homie. Pulling out of the pocket, Schertzer decides to run for it, but he is chased down. That time by Darren Daggerstab. Timeout used by the Stoats. Both teams have now used a timeout. Stoats looking for their first 3rd down conversion of the game. Frank Mellenballer on the move to the other side of the field. And immediately taken down on the blitz. Who was that? Was that Cliff Chuckanut? Look at that. And the long 48-yarder is kicked good by Dion Shankmeat. We have a tie game here in Toronto. Toronto gets the ball back with 49 seconds left. Chip Cordripper returns it past the 35 to the 37. And so the Trash Pandas with a singular timeout will hopefully try to squeeze in some points in the dying moments of the first half. Gong Show in the shotgun, no back, high snap, reaches up for it, throws it to the flat, and that'll be a short reception for Kyle Katam. Gong Show once again an empty set. Lots of Stoats on him. It's a comeback for Andy Cod player at the 45. 3rd and 3 now. Empty set after empty set for Gong Show. Throwing it and tipped away by Dennis Creamy. And that'll bring up 4th down. Edward Gogo to punt, but he shanks it quite badly. That's going to go to the 30. Nay, the 36. "20 seconds left for Marquis Schertzer. Steps back to throw. He'll get it to an open Bram Van Spakelos at the Trash Pandas 45, and the Stoats will use their second timeout. 16 seconds left on the clock. They only have about 2 plays and another timeout to try and get into field goal range to go up 3 going into the half. Marquis Schertzer back to throw. He'll put one deep for Bram Van Spakelos, and one's tipped away. Terry Shut Crunch has been absolutely helping shut down that right side of the field. And there'll be 9 seconds left. The Stoats will have 1 pass play to get within field goal range. Schertzer over the middle, and he'll get to Frank Muller at the 25. He'll be tackled down. Timeout used. Stoats are in field goal range. Frank Mellengaller in the middle of the field, wide open. Terry Shutcrunch had to dive in to stop him before he could turn up field and get a free rein to the end zone. Another 45-yarder for Dion Shankmeat, and this one is good. The Stoats go up 3 with 1 second left. It's a squib kick. This quarter is over. We'll see what Jordan Ripper can do. Try to make someone miss. He'll get to the 45, but that will end the quarter. But the Trash Pandas, if my memory serves me, will get the ball back. Down by 3. The Stoats stuck in pass-only mode, evidently. For better or worse. And the Trash Pan is just as gung-ho with the pass game as the Stoats are. Chip Cordripper up the left side, gets some great blocks. He'll get it past the 35. A great return by Chip. And the Trash Pan is blowing the Stoats out of the water in terms of time of possession. That's what a pass-only game will do for you, I guess. Jim Rat in with Ewan Corngrower in the I formation. Rat on the counter. He'll go up the left side. He'll shake a tackle. He will almost shake 2 of them, but he's put to a halt. Or brought to a halt by DeMar Hott. Nearly 10 yards on the run, but it'll be 2nd and inches. Brett Smart's in to replace Jim Rat. He'll get the play action. Gong Show, first down for Meat for Man at the 50. Brett Smart's still in. He'll take the counter hand off. Great block from the left tackle. Will fight Brett Smarts to the Stoats 40. Gongsho holding on to this ball. It's a handoff. Smarts gets the first down to the 35. And Damar Hott still complaining to the refs. I think he's been complaining every single down, but the camera just hasn't been picking up on it. He's a little bit of a prima donna, but my God, is he a good pass rusher. Meet Foreman on the move. And what the hell was Samuel Norris doing there? Samuel Norris, the third string running back, trying to find a hole up the middle, but every door was shut and he couldn't get past the 35 at all. And Doug Gongsho is going to opt to go with no back instead of having... Oh, man. Samuel Norris gets no respect. Tipped away by Ryan Coulier. The pass intended for Chip Cordripper at the 10. That'll bring up third down. Third and 10 at the 35 of the Stoats. Gongsho in the shotgun beside D-League star Samuel Norris. Meet Foreman on the move. Flip in the play, high snap, Gongsho jumps up for it. The Stoats get to Gongsho, and it's a sack. Is that Jay Powers? That was either Jay Powers or that was Damar Hott. I didn't see an 8 or 0. I guess we'll never know. But Edward Gogo has to punt as the sack moves the Trash Pandas barely out of Tim Bencher range. It's punted for a touchback. The Stoats still hanging on to a 3-point lead. We'll get the ball back at the 20. We're halfway through the third quarter. Hand off to Girani, foul play. Who gets loose to the 40? To the 50. Oh my God, what a run. Terry Shutcrunch has to tackle him from behind. Girani foul play in 1 yard gets more than Jim Rad has an entire half. And you gotta wonder, are the Stoats gonna move more to the running game now? Girani foul play. No, and Schertzer gets sacked back at the 45 of the Stoats. Second and 15. It's a handoff to foul play. That gets stopped by linebacker Devin Childs. The Stoats, who have yet to convert on third down, have to do so on a third and long. Shirts are back to throw. Trash Pandas send 4, and it's Mo Wacko who brings down the quarterback. And this Trash Pandas pass rush has been insufferable, man. Gonna set the Stoats to a 4th and 19. Still holding on to a 3-point lead, though. Gabriel DeSavier looking to punt a touchback here. Oh, what a great bounce! That'll go inside the 10-yard line. Nay, at the 5, a great punt by Gabriel DeSavier. Gongsho at the 5, 2 minutes to go in the third quarter. Down by 3, they're going to hand it off to Jim Rad, who tries to go off tackle, but he's stopped by Yaden Floatboat. Bug show. Once again, hands it off to Jim Rat. Off tackle, but this time brought down by Dennis Creamy. That'll bring up a third down for the Trash Pandas, who can't really get it out of their own red zone. Wrong show. Fires it, and Chip Cord Ripper can't hold on to it. Either that or it was punched out by Ryan Coulier, and that'll bring up fourth down. What a play by the Stoats. That was a great play call from the Trash Pandas. They got Cord Ripper in open space, but he just couldn't grab onto the football. A rare Chip Cord Ripper... What the fuck happened to my speech there? The rare Chip Cord Ripper L. As this punt is going to go all the way to the 45 of the Trash Pandas, so the Stoats going to regain possession in enemy territory as Ryan Coulier was tapped to do the punt return. Kurtzer back to throw. Throws it to the right side. Frank Mellenballer picks it up just outside of the Trash Pandas' 25. And Stray Cash is like, damn, man. I'm losing my goddamn job, man. Glitches in my articulation routines. Rebooting. And that'll be a penalty for the Stoats. That's going to move them back. 8 seconds left in the third. Kurtzer back to throw. Trash Pandas send forth, throw out of the sack, and that's nearly picked up by Brian Bealey. Girardi foul play, gets the handoff to the 30, and that's going to end the third quarter. The Stoats still up 13-10. No scores happening on this snowy April day. Third and 11. Stoats hand it off to Girardi, foul play up the middle. He'll run into Stanley Steak Sauce at the 20 and be stopped short of a first down, but the Stoats are more than happy to kick a field goal here. And it's no good. It's shanked to the right, so they'll keep the 3-point lead. But the Trash Pandas, who have been really unable to get anything going here in the third quarter, are going to try and get their motor going in the fourth with 8 minutes to go. Jim Rat the lone back. Meet four-man in the move. Stoats shifting their coverage. Rat is all clogged up trying to go up the weak B gap. He'll get a yard. Jim Rat back in. And they'll hand it off to Jim Rat. Oh! He'll get it. They have 55 yards today. Gonna be third and short. Brett Smart's in as the running back. They'll hand it off, counter run, off tackle. He's stopped short of a first down. Leonard Kapowski stopping him. This crowd begging the Trash Pandas to go for it on fourth, but I don't think the AI will do it on their side of the field, only down by 3. And yeah, they will play it safe with Edward Gogo out to punt. Gogo punts the ball for a touchback. Stoats at their own 20. A very quick pass. I believe that was intended for Bram van Spekelaus. That goes nowhere in the confusion and chaos. Kurtzer back to throw. Tries to get it. Who is number 10? Was that number 10? I don't see a 10 on here. Hold on, who was that? Oh, that's 19. Duh, that's Brandon Waves. I blame the snow, folks. The Stoats still have yet to convert on third down. The pace of this game was slowed to a crawl here in the second half, as neither team has scored in the last 10 minutes. Durrani foul play up the middle for a first down. What a big run as Shut Crunch stops him at the 35. Foul play giving the ball a spin. Another handoff to foul play. He'll get 3 yards before being smothered by Shut Crunch. He's definitely the Trash Pandas defender of the game. Although you could also make a case for Dion Sizzler with his huge impacts in the first quarter. Schertzer to the left side of the field. Gets it to Melon Baller for a first down. Into Trash Pandas territory, stepping out of bounds. At the Stoats 49, it's going to be Clint Hardball running it to the 45. Over the middle of the field. Play action, Schertzer can't roll out of the pocket, and he's smothered to the 50 by Stanley Steak Sauce. Oh, that's a good thump. This is still anyone's game, but both teams' offense really running out of steam with only 3 minutes and 27 seconds to play in the game. Another third down for the Stoats at their own 49-yard line. They're going to hand it off to 22. Breaks a tackle for a first down to the Trash Pandas' 40. What a big play by Clint Hardball. Brett Fieldstrong just delivers a freaking edge spear to Devin Childs, that poor kid. Ring the damn bell. Pass intended for Bram van Spekelaus is tipped away by Michael Hotz. A touchdown here from the Stoats will put the Trash Pandas in a bad situation as we're nearing the end of the game. Stoats up 13-10, still not a single score from either team so far in the second half. Clint Hardball attempts to go off tackle, but that only gets him a yard. Running foul play past the 35 will bring up fourth down. I think we are outside of Dion Shankmeat field goal range, but we will see what the Stoats decide to do here. We're borderline. This will be a 58-yarder or so. And they'll get Gabriel the Savior out to punt. The Dion Shankmead has no Tim Bencher, unfortunately. And so the Stoats are just going to place the Trash Pandas at the 20. The Trash Pandas, while only behind 3 points, are slowly running out of time to get the job done. Nice tip away there by Creamy. Trying to get it to Andy Cod player. And the Stoats, holding on to a 3-point lead, are fine with how things have progressed so far. As long as no one's scoring, they're still in the lead. Gong Show over the middle nearly throws an interception to Elijah Beard. Gong Show in the shotgun for this 3rd and 10. Throws it up wide open is Chip Cord Ripper. First down, Trash Pandas at their 32. Meet 4-man in motion. Gong Show empty formation. Tries to get it. Chip Cord Ripper past the 40, and the Stoats have defensive pass interference. So the Trash Pandas will get 2 extra yards on that catch as they accept the penalty. A minute 22 remaining. Gong Show catches the high snap, has to throw it away early. What a catch by Cord Ripper! That's not Cord Ripper, that's Cy Mayo. His second key catch of the game. Taps his feet. Excellent work there by Mayo. I love Too Much Mayo. 2nd and 1. A minute 19 paused on the clock as Mayo was able to get out of bounds on that successful catch. Gong Show in the pocket, rolling out, throws it to the open man, Cy Mayo, who puts the spin on past the 35 of the Stoats. First down and then some for the Trash Pandas. Cy Mayo, legacy game, eyes emoji. Gong Show, empty set, throws it up, and he caught Blair at the 15. And the Trash Pandas are motoring. And once again, they get it to the open man. Cy Mayo has injured his leg. He gave the Trash Pandas everything they needed to get to the end zone, and he's leaving the field a limping hero. Oh no, he went Mayo mode and paid for it. That's crazy. Gong Show, once again, empty set, gets into the flat. That's nearly intercepted by number 44. That's Marty Feelsbad, the backup quarterback. Cy Mayo just pulled his hamstring. He will return a very minor injury. However, with only 43 seconds left, you gotta wonder if he's actually going to return. Gong Show throws to the flat, tipped away, and so Tim Bencher is going to be called out to tie up the game with 39 seconds remaining. So Tim Bencher, who legitimately, I don't remember ever missing a field goal, has a very easy chip shot in front of him to tie up the game. And this one is kicked to dead center. And we might be going to overtime, but you know how this game ends, right? You know how this game began? Sorry, not ends. It was Marquis Scherzer on the second play of the game, throwing it deep to Frank Mellenballer for an 80-yarder. You know, the Trash Pandas don't have to worry about a return at all, because that doesn't even get a chance to return it, because that's just out the back of the end zone. What will Marquis Scherzer do? 36 seconds to go. Scherzer back. Throws it up for a... Oh, okay. Van Spakelos got lost in his route a little bit. That one thrown way downfield where nobody really was. Second down, Stoats. It wasn't the first play of the game they scored on. It was the second. 30 seconds. Scherzer back to throw. Will throw a quick one to Frank Mellenballer running a drag route. And the Stoats will use their first timeout. Frank Mellenballer injured his shoulder after that tackle. Oh no! Frank Mellenballer was their man. Stoats handing it off immediately. Brent Fieldstrong on the fullback keep gets pummeled by Steak Sauce. The Trash Pandas using their second of 3 timeouts. The Stoats will have to punt it away. We'll get an update as soon as we can on Mellenballer. That'd be devastating if the Stoats are without him for even a handful of games. Tip cord waving for the fair catch at the Trash Pandas 44-yard line. Will the Trash Pandas pull out some moves to win the game before overtime? They have 1 timeout, so all they need is some explosive plays. Get them within Tim Bencher field goal range. And call it a day. Gong Show in the shotgun, empty set. They'll get it to the open man, Andy Cod player, almost to the 45. 12 seconds remaining. The Trash Pandas will have a singular play to go. Gong Show in the shotgun. They're running out of time. They get it. Tipped away. So with 4 seconds left, I wonder what they'll do here. Will they settle for overtime, or will they get Tim Bencher out to kick the longest field goal in TNFL history? Okay, Frank Mellenballer bruised his shoulder, out for 2 quarters, so it won't be a major injury. The Stoats breathe a big sigh of relief. However, that will be the last of Mellenballer we'll see in this game. I love you, Ray Trooper. So the Stoats don't lose Mellenballer for any games, but they will lose him for the rest of this one. 4th and inches for the Trash Pandas. They're going for it? With 1 second remaining. That makes sense. Alright, Trash Pandas going for 1 quick Hail Mary before we go to overtime. As they press the view button, I've never seen the AI do that. They throw it up. It's Andy Cod player. Touchdown, Trash Pandas. They win the game. Trash Pandas fans celebrating as their veteran wide receiver brings in the deep 1 second left on the clock pass. And the Stoats coming into this game with a full head of steam. They demolished the Beefers, they demolished the Gators, but they will not leave Toronto as victors, as the Trash Pandas will tie the Gators in the Over Here division standings. What an interesting season this is turning out to be, folks. Both quarterbacks suck. Yeah. Rushing totals. Gironi foul play, even with the maximum pass offense of the Stoats, still was able to squeeze out 72 yards on 9 attempts. That's an 8-yard average. That is so stupid. Yeah, Mellenballer 140 yards. So he's going to continue to catch up on the total receiving yards. He's behind Nathan Sittler a little bit. Andy Codplayer with a century mark for himself as well. And Cy Mayo targeted 4 times. Do it for him. Keegan Silverblood double-digit pancakes. The second player in the Season 3 to do that. Mark Bussell still holds the single-game pancake record at 14. So Silverblood only 3 away from that. Your tackles leader, Creamy Beard and Shut Crunch all had 7 tackles. With Coolio Steak Sauce and Damar Hot, each with an interception. That is what? A cornerback, a middle linebacker, and a defensive end. That is a bunch. And the singular forced fumble by Ryan Coulier as well. Alright, that's going to be it for tonight's slate of games.